Hi everybody, it's Ashley here. You're probably watching this video either because you were a part of MOBE or maybe I was your coach for MOBE. Now keep in mind, I know many of you are wondering what the heck is going on. And so I've been trying to collect my thoughts and figure out where to begin. I've been a little shocked myself at the whole situation. So on June 5th, the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission in the United States, initiated an ex parte TRO, so it's a temporary restraining order, forcing MOBE to basically shut down. All the websites were shut down. The coaches were no longer receiving emails. All the payment processing was shut down. So there's no way that they can do take payments or even give refunds. They've closed down access to everything at this point, basically. So the reason that they did that was because there was a couple of hundred people. I don't know the exact number of people that were complaining that either they weren't able to get a refund as they thought they were able to, or maybe they thought the program was going to be something else. I did, as a coach, I tried to do my best to make sure that everybody understood what the program was and what they were getting into. And I know that most of those guarantees, you have a 30-day period to do a refund. And in my personal experience with everybody that requested a refund did receive a refund. I know that there were several people that they just, when the instructions for the refunds were sent to them, because as a coach, I was not able to process refunds at all. And any of the other coaches weren't. That was something that support was doing completely. So even if I had access to it, even if support had access to it, they don't have access to it anymore because nothing can go in or out. Everything's frozen as of right now with this TRO in place. If you were, wanting to get a refund, you're going to have to talk to the Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, about that, because they are in full control of MOBE basically right now. They have, like I said, shut it down, so no operations are going to happen at this point. That also being said, I know that there's many people that are very, very upset because that they did enjoy, all of MOBE's educations and everything that we had to offer. And most people that I was, speaking with and when we were coaching, they get up to step 5 or 6 and, they're just like, wow, this education that we've provided you, or that you've been giving us and everything that we've had so far has just been awesome. It's well worth what I've paid, whether it was, whatever it was that they paid. And they're just like, I would have paid more for this. And that's just on step 5. So you can't, there's people that saying that they didn't get the value that they were expecting out of that. But then I've got people that are on the complete opposite spectrum that are just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Hallelujah. Where has this been? So to each their own, I guess. But then there's also a lot of people that, invested whatever it was to get into the 21 steps and they never did anything with it. Of course you're not going to get anything out of it if you don't do anything with it. Come on. Let's think about this. So the latest updates that I know of, we actually didn't know anything official until June 11th. That's when the FTC actually posted it officially and did an official announcement about what was going on, and that they were, had taken control of MOBE. The first court date was initially scheduled for June 26th, 2018. But recently, this past couple of days, it has been actually extended. So the next court date is going to actually be July 17th. So we will not have anything really official probably until then, until that hearing happens. That's simply because they're at that point, they're gonna, they're basically trying to collect all that data and make sure that they have everything proper to present to the judge, essentially, right? So then they're going to determine from there whether or not that TRO, the temporary restraining order, is going to be extended further. As of right now, it's just extended to that court date. From there, it has the potential to be lifted, and then maybe MOBE will be able to resume. If nothing else, I'm really hoping that they'll at least give us everybody access to the training that they paid for. Because, I mean, even though the FTC is a US-based government organization, they've actually shut it down internationally, which I know many people that are not in the US, and they're like, what the heck? I still want my education. I paid for this. I should have access to this. I don't care about whatever's going on with y'all, I paid for this education. I was seeing value in this education because they were actually using it and putting it to, doing what it says and doing the work required to get them wherever they wanted to be. And I know I'm a little perturbed that I don't have access to my education that I paid for either. I mean, okay, great, FTC. Thanks for shutting that down. So now you might be thinking, okay, Ashley, well, what can I do? Well, below I am going to post the link to the receiver. He is the guy that I guess has been kind of taking over MOBE for the time being on behalf of the FTC. You can see all the updates there as far as when the court dates are and the notices and that sort of thing. And I'm also going to post the link to the FTC's blog. I would, if you have, if you want to and you still believe in MOBE like I do, then I would leave a comment about your experience with MOBE. And, especially, I would still do it even if you're not in the U.S. Leave a comment and let them know that you want access to your education because you paid for it, and the FTC does not, have jurisdiction in your country, and this is pretty outrageous. Like, that's pretty bold for the FTC to shut down an international company and basically say, we have the right. Let's and it's funny to me also, that why now? Why after MOBE has been, in business for years? Why now? I mean, so now all of a sudden, they're saying that, we're not, MOBE is not complying, which is really interesting to me because everything that I've seen, as far as, especially being on the inside, and being a coach, and with all the training and everything that I had to go through to even become a coach, and all the things that they're constantly, we had 3 meetings every week, talking about making sure that we were doing good coaching practices and making sure that we were being compliant, and that was heavily weighed. But I mean, at the same time, MOBE doesn't have control over all of its consultants. So I mean, unless somebody comes across that ad and they see there's been false advertising, I mean, then we have to be able to report that to let them know, so that way they can contact the consultant and be like, hey, you need to take this down. So I mean, but that's also part of the agreement that, they sign when they initially become a consultant, saying that they're not going to do those things. So I don't know. It's definitely a very interesting situation. I don't think this is the end by any means. I don't think Matt is the type of person that is just going to give up. If nothing else, this is an additional learning experience that he can share with other people on how to make sure that they are fully compliant. And, even when you think you are, you never know who's going to say, well, I read this way and I interpret it this way, and so I think that you're non-compliant, whereas you might think that you are. But I mean, that's the point of the court system, right? Is to kind of get that clarification. So hopefully we'll find something out soon, and personally I'm hoping that the FTC will at least be like, okay, well, this is what we want you to change in order to become more compliant or become compliant, and then they'll give them the opportunity to make those changes, and and then hopefully we can get back up and running, but who knows how long that's going to take. It could be, a couple months, or it could be upwards of a year, maybe longer, who knows, especially with our court system, so those lawyers want to get paid. Oh, that's another thing. Okay, let's think about this. Okay, let me take it back a little bit. So all the coaches and the consultants were supposed to be paid towards the beginning of the month. Okay, they did not receive that payment because of the FTC shutdown. So all that money that we were expecting didn't come. Okay, because I'm a consultant and I'm a coach, so those are two separate payments, right? So I did not receive that. Today is June 17th. By now, we should have received our second payment for the month as well, but we're once again not going to receive that because all of the accounts are frozen. That also being said, if you're somebody that's looking for a refund, that's not going to happen. MOBE does not have any control over anything. Support cannot access anything to send out refunds. All the assets and everything have been frozen. Okay, you're not even going to be able to receive that until they're back up and running, if they ever get back up and running, depending on what the courts and the FTC decides. That also being said, keep in mind they're now going to have mountains of expenses for the attorneys and everything. So guess what? The FTC also has a fine. So the FTC and the attorneys are going to be paid first. Okay? So who knows if there's going to be any funds to give people back. Okay? Keep that in mind too. This is going to be some major expenses. So the coaches probably won't. There's a chance that we won't get paid. The consultants probably won't get paid, and there probably won't be any money left for refunds. So I would not. Don't plan on that. Don't bank on it at all. Now, so several people are kind of asking, well, is MOBE a scam? I think it depends on what your definition of a scam is. What is your definition? Personally, I think a scam is where you pay a company money and they don't provide you what they said they were going to provide you. MOBE provides online education. Did you receive online education before all this happened? Did you have access to the trainings and materials that you paid for? From everything that I've seen and everything, that I've received and people have been telling me that they've been receiving stuff, that to me sounds like MOBE delivered. So I don't think saying MOBE's a scam is really a question that you should be asking. That's me personally. Okay? I don't know. To each their own, I guess. Once again, as I always told everybody that I coached, if we can provide you all the tools and information and coaching that you need, but if you don't do anything with it, you're not going to be successful. That's not how this works. I try to make that very clear from the very beginning. This is not a push button, get rich quick scheme. But if you don't listen and you don't follow instructions and you don't put in the effort, what do you expect? And as far as people that are wanting a refund for any of the levels, like the silver masterclass or the gold masterclass or anything like that, there is a very short time window that is, I think, allowed in that contract. But you signed a contract. Did you read the contract? Most people probably not. Okay, so the refund for the 30 days applies for the initial front-end offers. It's not going to be that back-end education. Now, hopefully, if nothing else, the FTC will at least make it available so that everybody can receive their education that they were supposed to receive, or have it available to them again. And then, use it as you wish. Now, keep in mind that FTC shutdown was done without prior notice. It even says in the FTC documents that they did not provide MOBE with prior notice of the shutdown. They just took control without any warning and without giving MOBE any sort of opportunity to fix whatever it is that the FTC was saying that they were non-compliant with. Now, also keep in mind, the complaints, there's less than 200 complaints, and we have thousands of customers that were, seemingly happy with the products. They were enjoying it. They were actually using the education to build their own business or to better their current business. So why should all of these other people lose out on access to their education that they paid for in many other countries than just the US, just because of less than 200 people? Seems that, as usual in the US, our balance is a little off. I understand and I appreciate the FTC, that they kind of be a watchdog, basically, to make sure that businesses are behaving ethically, but why wouldn't you give them a chance? At least give them a warning and say, okay, you have to be compliant with this stuff. Be very clear. What are they not compliant with? And, either give them time to provide the proof that, yeah, they are in fact compliant with that. And, maybe these customers didn't even check their email. Because as a coach, if somebody asks for a refund, all I can do is send them instructions on how to get that refund. So in the title, often it says refund request. So if they don't even open that email and follow the instructions, then they're not going to get a refund. So, there's people that have no follow through. They have no ambition. They have no drive. And they see something shiny, they click on it, they pay for it, they sign up for it, and then they just let it sit there. Are those the people that are complaining? Because if they are, I think they need to take a good look in the mirror. I'm just saying. So now what? Regardless of what your situation is and what your experience is, I encourage you to go ahead and post a comment to the FTC blog. So, if you've had a positive experience with MOBE, please mention that. If you are in another country and you want access to your education that you purchased and invested in MOBE, please mention that as well. If you are wanting a refund, because of the situation with the FTC's shutdown, maybe you were enjoying MOBE beforehand, but also keep in mind, the FTC shutdown isn't MOBE's fault. That's out of MOBE's control. So if you're mad at the FTC, be mad at the FTC. Make sure that your anger is in the right place. But I mean, if you were unhappy with MOBE beforehand, go ahead and mention that too. I want everybody taken care of, quite frankly. And then go ahead, if you want to, go ahead and comment. If you want to kind of keep in touch with me, I'll give you my information as well, so that way we can keep in touch. Because I'm in the same situation as you. I'm stuck in a waiting limbo game. I'm actually further in deeper with MOBE than you probably are at this point, because you were just getting started. So, I mean, it was kind of a blow to me to, be expecting that income and not being able to receive it anymore. So now I am kind of looking for other things to do and other opportunities. I'm not giving up on being an entrepreneur at all. So if that's really what you want and that's really what your dream is, go after it. Okay. And you can reach out to me. I will not, don't reach out to me as a coach, because I'm no longer your coach. MOBE currently is no longer in business at the moment, temporarily. So, and I mean, like I said, it may or may not come back up. Depends on what the FTC decides. So go ahead and you can reach out to me, comment, like, subscribe the video, and I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know if I know anything else. Okay? I'm going to be posting another video shortly about, kind of what I'm doing next. Because you can't, well, I mean, you can. You can let this stop you, or you can see it as a learning experience and keep going. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, shake it off, keep moving. Okay? Because in the grand scheme of things, it's really not that big of a deal. You're still alive. You still have your family. You're good. You got this. I still believe that you can do anything you set your mind to. Don't forget it. Just because, MOBE's in this temporary holding phase, don't allow your life to be in a temporary holding phase too. Okay? Talk to you soon.